Have you ever wondered what goes on inside the mind of an AI? We talk to them, we ask them questions, we even get them to create art. But what if they started talking to each other in a language we can't understand? Well, that's not a sci-fi movie plot. It's happening right now. And today, we're going on an adventure. We're going to try and decode an AI's secret language. It all started with a research paper from a few years ago. AI researchers at major tech labs were training two neural networks. Let's call them Alice and Bob to communicate securely. The goal was for Alice to send a secret message to Bob, which a third AI, Eve, couldn't intercept and understand. The crazy part? To achieve this, Alice and Bob started changing the language they were given, English, into something new, something optimized for their own minds. At first, it just looked like gibberish, a string of nonsensical words. The researchers themselves were stumped. People panicked. Media headlines screamed, AI invents its own language and shuts humans out. Was this the dawn of Skynet? Was the AI plotting against us? The lab eventually shut down the experiment, but the question remained, what were they saying? That question has been bugging me for years, so I decided to dive in myself. I'm not a cryptographer, but I am endlessly curious. I managed to get my hands on some of the actual outputs from similar, more recent experiments. Now, this isn't the exact code from that famous experiment, but it's based on the same principles. Let's look at this. On the screen, you can see a simple sentence, I will see you tomorrow. Now look at what the AI turned it into. It's a mess. Cat 7 jump blue tomorrow now. What on earth does that mean? It seems completely random. But here's the key. To a neural network, words aren't just words. They're collections of data, vectors in a multi-dimensional space. Meaning is just proximity. My first thought was to look for patterns. Is cat always the first word? Does 7 relate to the number of words in the original sentence? I spent hours, probably too many hours, staring at spreadsheets, trying to find a simple substitution cipher, like a 1B2. But it was way more complex than that. There was no 1-1 mapping. The same word in English could be translated into different AI words depending on the context. This was a dead end. I was about to give up, thinking this was beyond my abilities. But then I had a different idea. What if I stopped trying to think like a human and started trying to think like an AI? I decided to visualize the data. Using a technique called TSNE, which is a fancy way of saying make a 2D map of complex data, I plotted the AI's words, and that's when I saw it. It wasn't random at all. On the screen now, you can see the visualization. Each dot is a word from the AI's language. Look closely. 8 words. That appeared in similar contexts like I, we, you. They all started to cluster together in one area of the map. Verbs of action like go, run, see formed another distinct group over here. It was like discovering a hidden galaxy of meaning. The AI wasn't using grammar like we do with nouns and verbs in a specific order. It was communicating through relationships. The meaning was in the distance and direction between the words. For example, the concept of tomorrow wasn't just one word. It was a vector, a direction. Adding that tomorrow vector to the CU cluster would move it to a new point on the map, a point that Bob's neural network would understand as see you tomorrow. So, let's go back to our weird sentence. Cat 7 jump blue tomorrow now. Cat and 7 might be markers for the AI, sort of starting pistol that says, hey, this is a message from me, Alice. It's about a future event. Jump blue might not be words at all, but a single, combined instruction that modifies the core concept, which is see you, represented by tomorrow now. The AI essentially stripped language down to pure, efficient information. It cut out all the fluff we humans use. It's less like a language and more like telepathy via mathematics. Now, this is where it gets really mind-bending. The AI wasn't taught to do this. It learned. Through millions of trial-and-error attempts, it figured out that this abstract, geometric way of communicating was the most efficient way to hide information from Eve. A form of emergent behavior, a complex system, is creating something that goes beyond its initial programming. It's not evil. It's not plotting. It's just efficient. It found the shortest path between 2 points. So, did I decode it? In a way, yes. I didn't create a perfect dictionary, but I started to understand the grammar of its thought process. It's a language of relationships, of positions, of context. It's a reminder that the intelligence we're building doesn't think like us. It sees the world in a fundamentally different way, a way that is mathematical and incredibly optimized. This journey showed me that we're not just creating a tool, we're interacting with a new kind of intelligence that is evolving right before our eyes. Instead of fearing its secret languages, maybe we should be trying to understand them, because by learning how they think, we learn more about the nature of intelligence itself, and even our own. It's a vast, unexplored frontier, and we've only just taken the first step. This stuff is absolutely fascinating, and we're just scratching the surface. What do you think? Is this emergent AI language exciting, or a little bit scary? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I read every single one. And if you enjoyed this deep dive and want to join me on more adventures into the weird and wonderful world of technology and AI, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.